Hi, this is Russell Stannard from teachertrainingvideos.com. Today we're going to look at Camtasia and we're focusing on all the things you can do around audio. Now Camtasia and audio is fantastic. There really are a lot of things you can do. You have a library, for example, of music that you can bring in. And you can control and fade in and fade out the audio very, very easily. You can do things like add narration over the top of an image or a video that you've imported in. So you can screen capture and record the audio at the same time, but you can separate them. You can also do a lot of editing with the audio, so you can separate an audio file from a video file, and then you can control how the video works. You can add in input points into the audio to change it. There are so many things you can do. So what I'm going to do is almost give you a complete training in all of the audio features that are available in Camtasia. Now, to make access to this as easy as possible, in case you want to jump to one particular part of the video, there's a menu system below that will allow you to jump to a specific part if there's something you want to learn with Camtasia. Hope you like the video, and as always, if you do, please like it, please share it, please join me on my YouTube channel, and of course, if you've got any comments to make, leave them in the section below. Let's get started. So let's start by bringing on a bit of screen captured video that I've already recorded. And what I want to do is that before this starts, I want to have a kind of some music and an interesting opening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to my library, and the first thing I'm going to do is add in some kind of intro. And we've got some intros that we can use here, and I'll just use a really simple one. So I'm going to start by just dragging this intro here onto the timeline. So we've got a kind of intro. I'll just play you that for a few seconds. Okay, so we get this kind of intro, and what we can do is then we can change that to the name of my company, which in my case is teachertrainingvideos.com. Teacher Training Videos. Okay, so I can really quickly bring an introductory video in, but of course it's silent. So what I want to do now is bring in some music. So again, what we need to do here is come down. This time now we're going to go to the music tracks, and we've got a whole host of music tracks, and we can just click and very quickly listen to them. If I want to test another one, for example. Okay, so I could just choose any track I want. Okay, that sounds kind of funky. Let's make use of that one there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag that onto the timeline as well. And you'll see that that is a really long piece of music. Now, I don't need it to be that long, so I'm going to grab that piece of music and drag it back, because I want that piece of music really to end as soon as the screen capture starts. So let's just play the end of that video, the end part. We can actually, now didn't sound very professional, did it? Now the problem is that, yeah, we got this lovely video that we've got coming on the screen, but what we haven't got is obviously a way of fading that music out. And this is where again we start to see the power of Camtasia, because what I can do is I can just drop this fade out onto the screen. I can even pull it along and just decide exactly where I want it to fade. So I want it to fade a little bit nearer to the end. And now it's completely different. We're going to play the video now, and you'll see that we've got this music, but it's going to fade out before the speaking starts. Now we can actually, so much more professional, and just again lovely that that feature exists when working with Camtasia. And you can even fade the music in at the beginning if you want to do that as well. That could just have a fade in as well as a fade out. So that's a really nice feature in Camtasia. Now let's take another scenario. Let's imagine that we want to actually have a little picture on the screen, and I'm going to use a picture of myself first. And before I start to come into the video, I actually want to have this picture on the screen. So we come out of the introduction, and then we've got this video on the screen. Now, what would be really good if we could have a kind of talking behind that picture. And we can do that really easy because we can come down to voice narration and just move it back to the point that we want to start. And then I can just click on this button here. I need to check that I've got the right microphone connected. I'm going to use a different mic for this one. And now I'm just going to click on this button. Hi, my name's Russell Stannard, and today I'm going to introduce to you quizzes. Okay, so just going to click on save, and now I've got a voice narration before we actually even come into the video, and that's going to be on the screen at the same time as you can see the image. So let's just play that back so you can see. Again, just quickly coming out of the music. Hi, my name's Russell Stannard, and today I'm going to introduce to you quizzes. Now we can actually, and then I can dive straight into quizzes. Now again, this is a bit rushed and I can still make this even more professional, but you can see straight away this ability to add the voice narration once the video is on the screen. Now I actually tend to do my screen capture videos where I do the voice narration at the same time as I've got the screen open, but you could actually record a video and then add the narration afterwards in the same way that I've just done it with an image. Now, we often want to cut bits of audio out. We might have added some commentary that we don't want to keep, or we want to cut it out and correct it because we've made a mistake. Let's just play a little bit of this screen capture. And what we can do here is move in a bit closer by just using this kind of zoom button here. I'm just going to play a little bit of audio. It's been made by other teachers, and that's also another way of working. Now, let's imagine I just want to cut that last bit out, yeah? Made by other. And I'm just going to pick the right point. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus right in to get really close. And there's another thing that I can do here. I can just right click over here. And what I'm going to do is maximize track. So I can really see the audio closely. And I'm going to choose the point where I cut the audio out. So let's say I'm going to just do it here. Okay, so I'm going to cut the audio at this point. So what I can do then is click on the audio. And I'm going to click here and cut that audio. So that last piece of audio, I'm going to cut it out totally. By just now, I've cut it here. I'm just going to click on it and delete that. So now you notice that the audio at the end of the video, and if I just come back here and minimize the track again and make that bit smaller so that we can kind of see it all, I've actually cut out some audio there at the end. And if we now play the video, the questions and images in the answers, or we can explore. Now I need to obviously add the audio in again, okay, that I want to correct because obviously I got that last part wrong. So I would click here, explore various other options, and then I can simply add it in the corrected audio and drag that down. So now sometimes you need to kind of cut out a little bit. Again, if I focus in really close here, and you'll see again if I come over to here, what I can do is just make sure that that audio file, I just cut out the beginning of it because it often takes a few seconds for the microphone to kick in. Okay, and what we should have with any luck is a fairly smooth transition now between the audio that I recorded while I was doing the screen capture and now this corrected part. Now I do this all the time because often when I listen to the recordings I've made mistakes and I need to correct parts. Explore various other options. Okay, now again I rushed that a little bit, it wasn't perfect, but you can see how because of these audio features, this ability to, for example, zoom in, and then this ability to be able to maximize the track so that we can really get in close to the part we want to cut out and then replace, really useful feature in Camtasia. Just a super quick interlude to let you know, if you do want to download Camtasia for free, you can actually do it from my website. If you come to my website, you'll notice also that there's a whole section on Camtasia, loads and loads of free videos. But if you click on the advert at the top, firstly you can download from that link, you can download Camtasia for free and test it out for 4 weeks. And secondly, in the second link, if you are working in education, so you're working in a college or a university or school, or if you're a student, you can actually get a huge discount on that second link, and it will reduce the price of Camtasia, which is quite an expensive technology, but it will push the price right down. But you have to be in education, and you do have to demonstrate that you are actually working in education. One final thing, I do run monthly courses online in using Camtasia, and if you were interested in joining one of those courses, simply add your name to the waiting list in the link here below, and I will contact you as soon as a new course comes up. Right, let's get back to the video. You've got a couple of ways of improving the quality of the audio. One of them that tends to work very well is this audio compression. If you've got some audio that you kind of feel it's a bit light, often you need to thicken it. And one way you can do that is just by using this audio compression and putting that down. You can see it kind of thickens the audio up. Now it's even possible as well to augment the volume. If you've got a certain piece of audio that you want to increase the volume of, then you can do that by just lifting up the audio file and making it louder. So you can actually do that. You can actually play around. You can compress the audio, but you can also increase the volume. Now there are some really advanced features in the audio options that I want to focus on now, and that is where we add key points to really begin to play around with the audio. Okay, we're going to look at a slightly more sophisticated way of working now with audio. We're going to look at audio points, and to do this I'm going to just bring in some music again. Well, perhaps use this one here. Let's just play it. Let's actually try something different. That one will do perfectly, so I'm going to drag that onto the screen. Now what we've got at the moment then is we've got some audio, and that's way too long, so we're going to bring that right back to here. We've got some audio on the screen, but we've also got some commentary, and obviously the problem is we can't have both playing at the same volume. Let's just play that back and just see how bad it is. Hi, this is Russell Stannard from teachertrainingvideos.com. Now what we could do, if we really focus in tight on this, okay, let's get it right across the screen so you can see it really clearly, is that we could actually control the volume of the audio, and we can have the audio fairly loud at the beginning, but as soon as the speaking comes in we might want to fade the audio out. So what we're going to do is going to get to this point here. I'm just going to click here and I'm going to add an audio point at that point there. And then I'm going to add another audio point here, because when I get to this point here, and I'm going to need actually two audio points, I'm just going to add another one. So all I'm doing is right clicking. I'm going to click here. You'll see in a minute what I'm going to do. What I can now do is between these 2 points, I'm going to just reduce the volume of the audio, the music, because I don't want that too loud while I'm talking. But as soon as I stop talking, we can increase again until we get again to this point where I start talking again. I can see it here. So just about this point here, I'm going to need to fade out the audio. So again, I'm right clicking and adding another audio point, and I'll need a second one. And now I'm just going to drop that audio down. And again, so now you can see that by using these audio points, and I'm sure this won't be perfect, but at least making the point. Let's have a quick play. Hi, this is Russell Stannard from teachertrainingvideos.com. This presentation today is going to... Okay, so you get the idea that you can be kind of combining music and voice at the same time, and the audio points can really help you to do that effectively. Now, one thing we actually haven't looked at is when you do a screen capture recording, a couple of the important settings. Obviously, the first thing you can do is click and make sure that you choose the right microphone. Notice that you can even, obviously sometimes people like to make the video and then add the voice narration after, so you can even turn the microphone off. I like to do mine together, and you can control the volume here. The system's audio is a useful button to know about, because what that does is it will not only record your voice, but it also means that any for any audio produced by your computer, any sounds. For example, if you're recording over a video, it will record the audio from the video. So it's really important to have systems audio on if the thing that you're recording on the screen has got audio in it, and that's a really important button to remember. Okay, really hope that video was useful. Don't forget, come over to teachertrainingvideos.com, click on the Camtasia section, loads more free videos. And remember what I said, if either you want to download for free, get a discount, or join my next course, you can do that from that link. And if you want to follow my work, the best thing to do is to sign up to my newsletter. And that way you'll be updated with all the latest videos, the latest blogs, the latest online courses and the webinars that I run. Of course, you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to click on the bell to get all the updates. And finally, if you do want me to do some individual training or some training with a group from your school or organization or training company, then please contact me. And obviously, particularly if you're interested in training in Camtasia. And thank you very much.